best things I've read in a very long time.
Yeah, we got to have him on to talk about it.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. And we're live. It is Saturday, May 1st, the 400th episode of In Lieu of Fun. Holy crap. That's a lot of episodes. It is
400 episodes.
Eastern Standard Time. Is it daily time? Standard time. Do you know, Ben?
It's daylight savings time.
It's daylight
5:03 Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
Yeah.
If you want to be that way about it, you could also just say it's 2100 UTC.
I'm not going to say that. And it's just a Saturday, and I'm wearing a dog shirt and having a michelada, and I am in a spectacular mood.
This is the first show that, first of all, that we've had 400 shows. But secondly, I think it is the first ever show that there has been one dog shirt on the show, and it has been worn by Kate, not me.
Yep,
I don't think there are previous examples of Kate wearing a dog shirt and me not.
Wow. If there are such examples, someone can go back over the course of 400 episodes and tell us.
Actually, it's funny because I wanted to see what the first episode that I was on, there are so many episodes, like almost, I don't know, I would say maybe 400,
Just about.
Yeah, right. I think I was the first mystery guest with Dan Dresner, I think.
Oh yeah.
No,
that could be right. We could have,
the first mystery guest episode was out of control because each of Kate and I brought a mystery guest.
Yep.
And each mystery guest brought a mystery guest.
Oh.
So we had 8 people on. Wait. And then wasn't it one other level of iteration too? Because there were 8 people on.
No, there can't be on. Oh, on Zoom
there could be on Zoom.
I don't remember how many. There were a lot of people.
Anyways, there were a lot.
Nobody got a chance to say anything. So then we decided to scale back the mystery guests. There was a quick,
decisive. I think I said to Ben, that didn't work out so well. There were too many people and no one got to say anything. So let's just have one mystery guest.
But then the next time though, I was on the show with Dan Dresner.
So that may have been, we scaled it back once to we each bring a mystery guest, and then we scaled it back yet again to only one of us brings a mystery guest.
Trading them off. And I don't really remember when that happened, but I think it was just becoming like onerous to find someone like without the help of the other person to help book them, like just on your own every Sunday on a Sunday.
So who's your mystery guest for tomorrow, Scott?
Yeah, who's the mystery guest?
Wait, I'm not allowed to say. Wait.
We're just testing you.
Yeah, okay.
We're just going to try to get you to spill it over the course of the show.
I will admit that I have not read the employee handbook yet, the whole In Lieu of Fun handbook. But
it'll be Taylor Swift.
No, it's not Taylor Swift. But it's about morels and about the Constitution.
I'm so excited for this. I even have brought my handy dandy encyclopedia of mushrooms.
Oh, that's so great. Okay, so this person is like an expert on mushrooms as well.
Yeah. I got called out on having this in my oh look, I just opened to the morels part. Crazy. Anyway.
Yeah,
really
cool. So in the spirit of planning the show, how about we go morelling and do the show while we look for morels?
Yeah.
I mean, the only issue would be like whether we could get a signal. I guess might be the only problem. But the idea of like finding, like, we're all looking for morels.
Would that be fun? Like, I mean, how are we going to do that in stream? Do you think that we'll have?
I haven't worked out all the kinks.
If we do it, like if one of you has a Wi-Fi hotspot, you can do it. Assuming that there's cell reception there. That's what I did the other day from not from Comet Pizza. I guess it's from
You were downtown.
Quotidien. So that works, and I can captain it so that, you know, even if you guys blink out, the show won't go down.
Yeah.
But to do that, we would have to do it Wednesday because because we have guests every other day that week except Tuesday, and Tuesday I cannot captain because I will be on the Amtrak somewhere in Southern Florida.
I'm captaining on Tuesday.
Oh, I say, okay, I thought we were doing The Organist on Tuesday.
No, that's Thursday.
Oh, okay. So am I doing Tuesday or Thursday then?
I think,
well,
whichever you want. But if we have a blank on Tuesday and a blank on Wednesday. We have Molly Jong Fast on Monday. We have Anna Lapwood on Thursday. And we have somebody named Scott Skooks on Friday. Oh, is that,
no,
is that you cooking, Scott?
Oh, I wait. I would cook. So when here's another idea for a show. How about Kate and I? Kate, either I can come. Are you in New York City?
Yeah.
Okay, so we either I can come to you or you can come to me, and we can.
It sounds like a better way to do it.
Yeah, we can cook together, and then it would be cool, we could just trade off with the sous chefing.
Yeah, that would be
so
perfect.
That's Friday?
I ordered chainmail gloves. So, yeah, I'm not joking. The last thing that I need for my tenure file is for me to get like a horrible wound on live television and like Scott Shapiro's kitchen and like bleed out. Like,
okay.
Yeah,
so wait. So Scott and Kate Cooks is Friday.
Yeah. So Friday is also good because that's when the green market is open. So we can just take some video of us shopping.
Good.
Like maybe 3 minutes.
That's really what the world needs.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Again, I don't know what the rules are, so.
No, I think video of you shopping. I think it's like
at the
what
Green
Kim
Market.
Kardashian would do, right?
Right.
It's what Anthony Bourdain would do, Ben.
Well, all right, that too.
By the way, I want to say that I found the live show. Well, these are all live shows, but the outdoor show amazing.
I loved it.
I learned an important lesson from it, though, which is it is better to have the audience in front of you than in back of you, because I could not really do the eye contact thing. So when we do it in New York, we should do it somewhere outside where we can all face the same direction and have people, milling about in front of us. That way, it'll work better, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So that leaves Tuesday and Wednesday. I think I want to reserve Wednesday for.
I'm really excited about Friday.
But let me check with. Katie Fang, who I'm going to meet up with in Miami. Does Wednesday work for you for drinks / dinner / live in person in lieu of fun? ?
You raised an incredibly interesting question on the. Now, every time you say it, you raised an incredibly interesting question about the show's title, In Lieu of Fun.
Oh, it's an important methodological question that we did not resolve.
Yeah, so I would say,
yeah.
I mean, how about this? It's a little clunky, but we used to not be able to have fun anymore. Our
origin story is that we weren't allowed to have fun. maybe we should get more and more exotic. Like once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away, we were not allowed to have.
Yeah, you know who used to have fun? The Romans, or I don't know. There's just like I just feel like, yeah. What are we going to do about the show name?
I love it. I think of it as like I think of it not through the lens of the pandemic. I think about it through the lens of like you guys are making fun of yourselves. Like the show is not fun, but we do this. But of course, it is really fun. So that was always the paradox behind the show, which was that like you're not allowed to have fun anymore, except that you're having an incredible amount of fun. So I think that still holds. So
maybe it just flips, like it's so much more fun to be on the show than it is to go out, or not, like it's not a conceit anymore, that we're actually boasting that there is that we are more fun than actual fun, or something. I don't know.
Or just that is actually really fun to talk to people who are interesting.
Fun people.
Fun people. I mean,
but we were starting to talk about this right before we went live, but we were talking about going out and how incredibly healing it has been and better than drugs it is to see people in person.
I cannot tell you how excited I am to get on an Amtrak Monday night and sit on it for 24 hours.
Yeah.
I mean,
are you sitting on it, or you have like a sleeping car?
I have a sleeping cabin.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I
didn't know they were still doing those.
Yeah, I have a cabin. I am going to get on the train at like 7:00 in the evening after In Lieu of Fun on Monday. I am going to have dinner on it. I'm going to, yes, in a dining car. I am going to
like Hercule Poirot and the Murder on the Orient Express.
I'm gonna wait for somebody to get murdered. I'm gonna solve the murder. I am going to read some stuff that I need to read for meetings on Tuesday, which I will conduct by Zoom from the train. I will on Tuesday conduct In Lieu of Fun from the train.
So I'm conducting it from New York, and you'll be zooming in from the train.
Yes, I will.
But you'll be on Lieu of Fun.
I will be on In Lieu of Fun. And no, I'm not going to use Amtrak Wi-Fi Dave. I'm going to bring my own.
Dave. I think I'm going to block Dave. Kicking Dave out of that was some slander.
And by the way, if there is not a murder to solve on this that can be solved in the hour of In Lieu of Fun, Amtrak has promised to refund my ticket price.
Oh, good.
Or at least to upgrade me on the next one. So, yeah. I'm really excied about it. And then when I get to Miami, I'm going to go check into a nice old, Art Deco hotel, and
like the Fontainebleau or something.
I'm not gonna. No, not. I do like the Fontainebleau.
Yeah, right.
Has that old sort of, that. But
that would be perfect for the Agatha Christie theme.
Yeah,
perfect.
No, I'm gonna. But one of those old hotels. I'm not sure which one yet, and I'm just going to chill out and sit around and drink martinis and do In Lieu of Fun. I mean, that's.
I feel like you have to get mojitos if you go to Miami.
I'm gonna have a Cuban sandwich every day for lunch.
Oh, that sounds real good.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is amazing. So Scott, while Ben's like going and doing all this cool stuff, what are you gonna do?
So I have to finish my book, which is due in 6 weeks. So that's one thing I'm supposed to be doing. And then I also have a guitar recital with a bunch of 5-year-old kids. And so, which is, so there's this incredibly great, in New Haven, there's incredibly great music school called Neighborhood Music School. And that's where you take your kids. And so when I took my my kids, and my son, the younger one, was stupid enough to not understand that he could say no. So we did classical guitar. He did classical guitar for a long time. And then I started doing classical guitar, and then I started doing jazz guitar, and I'm really not good at it. All the videos to the contrary on post. But the thing is that I do the recitals, and the thing is, what's really funny is like I go up against like 6 and 7 year olds. There are kids that I used to carpool who are like so much better at me but I take it so super seriously. And so that's like the thing that's really on my mind for the next 2 weeks. So I may be lost in thought a bit more than I normally am.
You're prepping for your recital?
Yeah, I'm prepping for my recital because, well, there's this kid, Jason, and he's 8 and he's really good. And I think he just looks down on me.
Do you do shit talking,
No,
with the kids?
I do not. It would really help if it would help my confidence, but I just let the music do my speaking, my shit talking for me. But
I think you should,
I feel like that's a Curb Your Enthusiasm like episode. It's like somebody like throwing their shoe at like an 8-year-old kid in the middle of a
look, if you can't use that you are a tenured Yale law professor to intimidate an 8-year-old, what's the point of all the work that you put into getting tenure?
That you raised a really good point, Ben. And I will, but I do. I'm a believer in. I will endure any humiliation in order to learn something. And so my family thinks it's hysterical that I do this with 8-year-olds. And, but I don't care because, it's kind of fun to learn.
I think it's amazing. I don't know the difference between classical and jazz guitar.
Well, one involves playing classical music and the other involves playing jazz. Other than that, they're really
so the thing is, classical.
Is that the only difference?
Yeah, that's really the only difference. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
classical guitar, so when you hear like classical music played on piano, well, they play it on guitar. And the thing is that guitar is an unbelievably counterintuitive instrument. Because the piano makes perfect sense. A guitar makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. And it's really you have to have like 17 fingers to do it. So I stopped classical. I do jazz now, despite the fact not liking jazz music. Yeah.
See, this is why I was confused because I knew that Scott didn't like jazz music. So I was kind of like, I don't understand. Is there something interesting structurally about it that would make it different?
Yeah.
That would like make you want to do that instead of classical.
Well, because now I understand why I don't like it.
Oh,
that's kind of like your approach to inclusive legal positivism.
That's exactly like my approach. I just want to burrow into things that are bad to understand them. Well, I mean, look. You guys have been talking and writing about Trump too. I mean, it's like
that feels a little different because Trump is
maybe a little different
in order to give pleasure. Right.
Yep. No, that's right. One is like maybe you don't like the kind of dissonance of jazz. The other one is fascism. So it's like
I can like the PowerPoint presentation is writing itself. It's just
So here's the question, Scott. Should we tell about our text exchange with Kate the other night?
Oh no.
Were you? May I ask? Definitely. And I don't want to read it out.
No, we're not going to read it. It's too long, actually.
No, it's too long. But I would just say, were you? Did you have wine with dinner?
Yes.
Okay.
No. But it was a very classic, it was nevertheless like something I would do without any alcohol. So that was like even made it funnier. So
So here's what happened, people. And Kate's going to say I'm exaggerating, and Scott is going to back me up that this is literally 100% exactly what happened. All right. So Kate texts Scott and me after the show that this really weird thing has happened. There was this guy who she went to law school with, who's now a professor, who did something embarrassing back when they were in law school. And
not terribly, but not terribly.
It's not terribly
no, not at all.
embarrassing.
No,
It's,
right.
pretty ordinary, actually, the sort of thing that all of us have done. And that he suddenly was calling her, begging her in a panic to get rid of the picture. And so Scott and I responded, what picture? And
I'm like scrolling through the text, like, did I not see it? Is it on
Kate
Signal or something? Or
immediately becomes convinced that we are trying to get her to disclose the picture.
right, exactly.
And she's like, no, I'm not giving it to you. And we're like, no, we're not trying to get the picture. We're just trying to understand what the heck the story is about.
And then she says we're being bad friends.
Right, we're being bad friends because we're trying to get the picture from her. And we are actually trying to just figure out. So meanwhile, John, who is the non-party to this conversation, but Kate is apparently reading the texts to.
I'm like, did I not say
John
something?
is like, welcome to my life. Like, Kate leaves out the key detail in all stories. And so we are trying to convince Kate that there's no nefarious plot here. We're simply missing a key piece of information. This takes, what was it, about 45 minutes?
It was not 45 minutes.
I would say maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good
30
long
minutes
time.
of really 30 minutes of back and forth, and then like Kate's trolling us. And she's like, I'm not trolling you. You guys are teasing me. Stop teasing me.
We couldn't figure out if it was a joke or not.
You were teasing me. Like, I really was just like, what is
So now
going
you're
on?
going to show us the picture?
No. Anyways, like, I'll skip to the punchline, which is that eventually, suddenly, I'm like, oh, did I not tell you that I texted about this picture's, that I tweeted about this picture's existence in an @ reply to him? Like,
yeah. So basically,
an hour
after
ago.
10 years, Kate threatens to release this picture on Twitter, and then is shocked that this poor guy, is like a little bit put off by this, and she leaves this out of the story.
Right, and then the thing is, she just either she leaves it out of the story, or she just assumes that we're reading her replies to some person we don't know about, and I swear to God, I'm just scrolling and scrolling, trying to think, did she mention it? Did she mention it? Because she's really sure about it.
Oh God, it was so funny. We laughed, John and I laughed for like an hour after that. I mean, like, just like right now, he was like, I can't believe you just did that. You read the whole exchange. So I was like, anyway, that was like, all of that was like, he really was like, this is my life. I deal with this constantly. I have a lot of like, I start thinking about something else in the middle of a conversation. It's amazing that I've completed so many conversations in the last 400 episodes.
So we should, so there's not a lot of show to plan this week. We've got to figure out what to do on Tuesday and Wednesday. I want to reserve Wednesday if we can for Katie, and Tuesday, we should see if John McWhorter wants to come on and talk about his New York Times article about the word that begins with N, which is really worth reading if y'all want a weekend read. So I'm not sure we should do a lot more show planning for now because the rest of the week is scheduled.
Yeah.
The one question I have is, what's my day? The question is like.
I thought you were taking Friday.
I am taking Friday. I am taking Friday. Okay, so then we're going to do Friday. Fantastic. And I'm doing tomorrow with Mr. Ghost.
Yes. I mean, if you want to take Tuesday as well.
No.
As per usual, but.
Thank you, but.
All right. Should we bring in the audience?
Yeah, sure. Of course. Well, I'm very excited. Mr. Botts has anyways. Oh, this is a good question. Hello, Mr. Botts.
That's a walking fish you got there.
You know,
Yeah.
Once again, I have something for everybody. Everybody gets something, even Scott Shapiro gets something.
Oh, algorithm.
Nice. Yeah.
Mm.
I made a joke to one of my property students who's complaining about her lease not allowing pets, their dogs. And she was like, but I have a really good dog. And I said, the lease said fish were okay. Just put your dog in a fish costume. Anyway.
But Mr. Botts, you still have the beard.
Well, I do for a little bit, Mr. Wittes, but this could be the day, the very day that it disappears. Now,
On the show?
Live on the show.
Do it.
We are waiting.
I am so
right.
excited.
I'm unbelievable. I feel honored.
Yeah.
To be on this show.
This is very exciting.
So are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like this should be like a charity event. Oh my God. Oh, whoa.
Wait, you're not gonna. Don't do that. Don't.
No. Okay. All right.
That scared the hell out of me.
So
I feel let down, Botts.
You look at. Do you know the philosopher David?
Oh my God! Why do you have all these things, David?
It's for the show. He's a good sport.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
All right, what's the next option?
okay.
Okay, I vote. What do we say?
Wait, can we poll this?
Pull it.
Or
Let's pull it.
Oh yeah, we should
Yes.
pull it.
Yeah,
Which implement should David Botts use?
Wait, does anybody here know what David Lewis used to look like? The philosopher, the great philosopher, Princeton philosopher who died about 10 years ago. Probably the
This
greatest
is the second
minister.
time you've mentioned him,
Yeah,
and that he looks like David Botts, and that he's dead.
Yeah, no, that's true. But just the spitting image of David Lewis. I mean, it's just
They
shocking.
even have the same first name.
But that, either that
Have you
or
seen a picture of them together?
The poll's up.
I'm not.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like this should be like there should be like a charity thing. Like, how much would you pay?
Right, I was thinking about trying to do a charity tie-in, and I couldn't quite figure out how to
how about
say
Yeah.
this? I will, if David cuts the beard on the show with the hedge trimmer, either the electric one or the non-electric one, I will shave the right eyebrow.
Ooh.
No.
So
No. Wait. Why? Don't be taken in by that. That is a terrible trade. Who cares about that eyebrow?
I can't believe.
I want the hedge trimmer action here.
I can't believe that I'm the adult here, or Kate and I. I can't believe that Kate and I are the adults here.
Yeah,
This
that's
is not-
like never my role. I feel
David Botts, I hate to pull rank here, but it's time to return to middle school and say, I double dog dare you.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Wait, you don't have to double dog dare him. The poll is in. It's decided.
No, but I'm holding out for the hedge trimmer here.
Okay.
Well, the poll just says cut or not, right?
Well,
That's what I thought.
Yep. The poll says should David cut his beard on the show today, and it is 86.4% say yes and 13.4% say yes.
Now maybe we should have a follow-up poll on which implement he should use.
Which implement?
Yeah.
Okay.
The scissors, the electric hedge trimmer,
Or
the big scissors, the little scissors, the hedge trimmer, or the electric hedge trimmer. There's a right answer to this question.
I feel like I feel like I have to. You know how they say, like in the Trump administration, like if you're going to join you have to have a letter of resignation in your drawer. I feel like using an electric hedge trimmer on his beard would be a red line for me.
Do you have a resignation letter in your drawer?
No, but
so then it doesn't matter if it's a red line.
Yeah, right. Okay, fair enough. Okay, then go ahead. Use it. Do it. I was not prepared for this, and my bad.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
This is actually really fun to look at the poll.
I know.
I just do want to say that everybody who's voting for scissors right now is like a moderate Republican.
No. Oh.
Ben, you used to be a moderate Republican.
No, I was never a Republican. But I mean, like this is like the Susan Collins vote right here. Is the scissors?
I mean, but there's a bigger scissors.
Right. So
that's the Lisa Murkowski vote.
Oh.
This is the Murkowski solution here.
Yeah.
Is that what,
Yeah.
In fact, that scissors' name is Lisa Murkowski.
You know what you could do if you just want to make it a little bit spicier with the scissors? You can run while doing it. Just.
That's really good input. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's looking to me like scissors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm at the decision desk here.
So what do you think the next poll should be? Like one cut or two cuts? Or do it all in one cut? Or is it like three? Like small?
This is the most fun I've had on the show in a long time. I love this episode.
How many cuts should it be? I think we could really like pull this to death.
I don't. I'm dying to see this. Actually, the thing is, you're not going to be able to cut the whole thing with one snip anyway. You're going to have
scissors could go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
The hedge trimmer certainly could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One snip. One cut, guys.
So Kate,
Junior, she's drinking some beer with ice, right?
I'm drinking a Michelada. Michelada.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's like it is a clamato juice, which is like a tomatoey kind of a tomatoey spicy thing, kind of like Bloody Mary. No, it's not clams actually, but that's what it's called. But anyways, it's just kind of like a type of tomato juice and like a kind of a spicy rim, and then beer in it. It's just like a beer cocktail. It's really good. They're really one of my favorite. It's like a light beer.
All right.
But Jessica, can I just know a little bit more about the beard? So how long have you had the beard?
Yeah. No, it's Scott, it's a really good question. So I started growing the beard probably I started in March when everybody got sent home, and I let it go for a bit, and then one day I think in May I trimmed it way back, but I regretted that for a long time, and so I let it go. So this is my COVID protest beard, and my initial announcement is that I would cut it 2 weeks after my second vaccination. Some other things have come up, and I'm modifying that just a little bit to say I'm cutting it after my second vaccination, which I got this week, and I'm delighted to be able to say that. I got my little. Oh, you can't see it because of CG.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, you can see it. Okay.
Cool.
So I'm ready. I'm ready to cut the beard.
Well,
And
we're waiting.
I've never been more prepared for a beard cutting than I am now.
So I want to see. Ready?
One.
Tape this. Somebody should tape this where we're
It's
taping
being
this.
recorded.
Okay,
3,
good.
Go.
I thought that was what was going to happen.
It's
a little
working.
bit.
Well, yes.
Nicely done.
Excellent.
Oh God,
All right.
that's amazing.
So let's go to blue.
Let's go to blue.
This is the most dramatic moment. Not
Very good. Yeah.
In the
Most
history of
good.
Fun.
That's great.
Wow.
Wow. David, you look so different. How is that possible that he looks so different? Wow.
So I'm gonna
Great. Wow.
Excellent.
So I this is still too much. I'm gonna I'll use a shaver and something to trim it up. So there we are. That's the adventure. Happy 400th show anniversary. And
Thank you, Mr. Botts. I have to say, David has set the standard for all other questions on this show. If you are not prepared to alter your physical appearance, I don't think we might not take the question. I mean, we're going to have grooming, self-mutilation, tattooing,
piercings.
Piercings. You got to be willing to...
Jazz guitar?
That may be a bit too painful for everyone. So.
You got to be willing to alter yourself.
Yeah, significantly. But
yes, that really was excellent.
While you are all here, and in particular, Kate and Ben, just let me, as a person, say to you how deeply grateful I am for both of you over this last year. It's really been special, and so I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you, man.
David. It's really nice to
been
you
here
to say.
almost the whole time.
Yeah.
And thank you for your devotion to the show.
Yeah, it's really, I feel like I was telling my mom that I've been that I talked to a whole another group of people that I haven't met from the internet, and she was like, they have this is why they've passed laws against this type of thing. No, I think it's awesome. I never, as Ben and I've said this a million times, but we never thought that it would kind of be a community, I don't think. And so that's been kind of the most amazing side of this. So yeah. Okay, poor Greg is hanging out, so I'm gonna let you go. But it was great to see you.
Greg, what are you gonna do to your body on the show?
Yeah, Ben, I don't know how much we want him.
There are options here. We can,
people.
This is kind of hard to be following David.
It's a tough act to follow, but there are options.
My question sounds a little bit mundane now compared to cutting a 400-year-old beard. So it's Saturday, and we've got all the legal minds here. So I thought today's question was appropriate. We're up in our house in Vermont and having some work done the other day on the house, and the contractors folks say, "Hey, you've got a chicken over here leaving you a gift." And lo and behold, our neighbor's chicken left us an egg yesterday and then another one today. So I think the answer should go to Kate first, and then we'll let Ben and Scott just kind of balance.
The only one that teaches property law,
ramifications
but that also has own chickens. That I had actually, it was much more straightforward. We had a bunch of neighbor kids that were breaking into my chicken coop and stealing the eggs out. They were 4 or 5, and they were the kids next door, and they would just go into my chicken coop and just take it. I was like, why aren't my chickens laying any eggs? And then one day, the mom came over and was like, thank you for all of the eggs that you've been giving. I was like, oh man.
We did not cross any property lines. This egg came to us. It was on the porch.
Yeah, actually, it's a great question. I don't know. The law of there's called the doctrine of increase is like the thing that comes to mind, which is about when a animal is pregnant and you don't realize that it's pregnant, and you sell it and then it gives birth. There's always been like a question of is the calf or like is the piglet or whatever, like are they actually belong to the other owner because the other owner wouldn't have sold it if they knew it was pregnant. And the doctrine of increase is that whoever is the current owner, to them goes the increase, and so whoever is the current owner gets the like the basically the offspring. So that would seem to me to mean that the egg is actually belongs to the owner of the chicken. But the fact that the chicken trespasses on your land to leave it there, I think
The
that
word
might
cacciatore comes to mind.
and then walk away. I think that might make it abandoned property, and therefore you are the best title holder.
I don't know. If a chicken walks onto your land, why don't you own the chicken?
Well, she walked back, so.
Well,
It
that's just
actually-
because you didn't catch her and eat her in the meantime.
Jesus, Ben.
No, she's not. We like her. We like her visit.
Yeah. What do you think, Scott?
So the legal analysis you gave sounds excellent, Kate. I have nothing to add except for the fact that I did read this article in the Washington Post about this snake that swallowed a golf ball, and there was surgery to remove the golf ball. And the thing is, it turns out that suburban people, and farmers, when they have chickens, they put golf balls in the nests in order to kind of prime the chicken to lay the eggs in the nest. And now it is really affecting the rat snake population. That's about as relevant an answer as I can get.
As a child,
So you're saying if we want more eggs, I need to put some golf balls out there on the porch?
yeah, but
Either more eggs or less rat snakes.
I used to keep rat snakes as a child, and
You did?
I did in New York City, no less. And I'm very fond of red rat snakes, which are also called corn snakes. And I don't think people should be feeding them golf balls. They're very sweet animals, and they like to cuddle because you're warm, and they're reptiles.
No, like literally, he was just screaming cacciatore at your chicken that you like very much, and comes in.
Everybody likes the snake.
Wow.
So we got chicken eggs to snake.
Right, rat snakes. Rat snakes that Ben cuddles.
Rat snakes are they're small. They don't get longer than 4 or 5 feet. They're not big enough to do anything to you. They're not poisonous. They eat mice mostly.
Yeah, they're actually really good.
And and the red ones, the black ones are kind of ordinary looking, but red rat snakes are beautiful, and they so yeah.
I'm now looking up red rat snakes. Oh, they are quite pretty. Wow.
Yeah, they're quite pretty.
All right, we won't put any golf balls out on the.
Don't leave
solid.
golf balls for them. That's not nice.
This is what you do with a
Let's
degree in
accept the
legal
eggs
philosophy.
You don't know the answer to the legal question, but you do. But you did read an article about rat snakes and golf balls.
There you go.
The philosophical ramifications of gifted eggs.
See you soon, Greg. Okay. Oh, people
So
are.
now I'm getting pressure from the Greek chorus to shave the right eyebrow, which I'm happy to do, but will require that I go upstairs and get the.
Oh wait, right now? Like this very second?
I think I should do it.
extreme.
I think I should do it tomorrow because that won't require an interruption to the show, and also it'll allow me to tell Tammy in advance that I'm doing it rather than to walk out of the show with only one eyebrow and then have to go to dinner with Dan Byman and Vicky Wakino, which probably should be done with 2 eyebrows.
Yeah, I would say it kind of cut the kind of suave being on the kind of in the terrace of an Art Deco thing in.
Oh, I don't mind that
drinking
at all.
a mojito with one eyebrow.
I think I'm totally fine to be in Miami for a week with one eyebrow, and even to do the show with Katie Fang, and she can wear formal wear as she has sometimes done on the show in the past, and I can have one eyebrow and be in very informal wear. But I don't think I want to go get all the necessary accoutrement of the exercise in the middle of the show. It just seems like a bad idea. So eyebrow shaving will be possible tomorrow in the presence of Scott's mystery guest. It will be subject to a vote. It will be controlled by the outcome of the poll. And we'll just see what happens. I'll be prepared. I'm not going to renege on my commitment to Dave because Mr. Botts may not have actually shorn off the beard with a hedge trimmer, but for my commitment to, and as Scott, the legal philosopher, can tell you, a commitment that promotes a reliance interest that causes somebody to, take a dramatic step, it has to be honored, right, Scott?
I will say yes.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, okay.
The flow of the argument works much better.
Yeah, you're right.
If you use your legal philosopher cred to back me up there.
Right. In improv, you never say no, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's right. You only say yes.
See, look,
and.
I'm saying yes.
So tomorrow there will be a poll. The results of the poll will control Scott's mystery guest review.
Weirded out?
Mighty weirded out, but that's what happens when you come on In Lieu of Fun. And the right eyebrow will be at issue. So we'll see that. That's just a teaser for tomorrow's show. There will be a mystery guest. There may be an eyebrow shaving.
Oh my God. Mateo, so nice to see you.
What are you going to shave, Mateo, for the benefit of the show?
I brought in a question for me on property law, and so I brought in another question.
But Mateo has 2 eyebrows there. He appears to have a
Leave Mateo's eyebrows alone.
He's got a hat that we could take off and sort of shave a line in it. I mean,
there's a lot that needs grooming under the hat, hence the hat itself.
Hence the hat.
Maybe we'll do that on the show. Maybe not. Regarding the eyebrow, I had a friend in high school actually who wanted to just get little slits in his eyebrow, and the barber was doing it for him, but someone walked in the room just as it was being done, and he turned his face real quick and wound up without anything up there.
Well,
so great.
I had a similar experience to that in middle school. It did not involve a barber. And I felt like an idiot, but that's okay. I have lived long enough to redeem the promise of idiocy that I showed in middle school. So
I bet you someone has a picture of it, though.
Yeah. Nobody has a picture. That's the thing. We didn't have, there were no...
That actually reminds me, a friend's uncle once, I just forgot the story, was shaving his chest. This was back probably in the 80s, and he had a very aggressive razor, and he sneezed, and long story short, he has one nipple now.
That is really unfortunate.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay. Anyway.
But no, you have a really, you have a big picture question.
Yeah, I was hoping that David was going to answer it, but post shave, he's no longer qualified. It's, are possible worlds real in the same way that this one is?
What do you mean by that?
So I think this is a reference to David Lewis's modal realism, right?
entirely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So David Lewis, for the other little realists out there and David Lewis fans, I'm sorry, but for everyone else, so there's David Lewis was this philosophy professor at Princeton, and he was really a genius. And he wrote incredibly, unbelievably interesting articles, really revolutionized so many studies of language, of logic, and he was just a genius. But he had this bizarre belief that possible worlds were real. So that, like, you know, there is a world in which David Botts did not cut his beard with an electric hedge trimmer, and one in which he didn't. And
but is this all choices that have ever been made in the history of the universe spawn a different reality?
So this is not like what so-called the multiple minds or multiple worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. This is whatever is logically possible is real. So there's a possible world like in fiction where Hamlet, you know, kills his uncle. That not actually happened. That really happened in that world. It didn't actually happen because what actually happens only happens in this world. And this is called modal realism, the idea that alternative possibilities are real. And I think so David Lewis famously said is that whenever he says this, he gets the incredulous stare. Like, are you crazy? Are you fucking crazy to think that? But he wrote several books about it, on the plurality of worlds. And I think this is what the question was about. And I think the response that almost everyone has is, are you fucking crazy? I mean, like, that seems like a crazy thing to think.
I mean, it seems like an empirical claim that is either true or false. What is the evidence that it's true?
So he has like 1,000 arguments as to why it's true. And I can't respond. I can't tell you what they are because I've never bothered to read them because it seems so ludicrous to me that I don't want to waste my time reading it. But he is famous for having made this wackadoodle argument that nobody besides him believes.
Interesting.
Really? Nobody besides him? Like, literally nobody?
I mean,
like,
it seems like all science fiction writers believe it, you know?
Well, they don't believe it's real. They just believe it's possible. They don't feel like they're describing something that's happening in just some causally disconnected universe.
I see.
It's just really hard to discuss it because it just seems so like what evidence could you bring for it? But he was unbelievably smart, and you know. But this really goes into the life is too short category.
Yep, definitely. Okay. Oh, 5 minutes left. See, I have not done a good job of controlling. I started laughing too hard and I just never really recovered from that. Let's see. What did we decide about the eggs? That you want to eat the chicken or something about rat snakes? I forget.
No, we decided that you're probably right as a matter of property, but the really interesting question is why don't you own the chicken the moment it strays into your yard?
Oh yeah. I think that's actually I meant to give that's what it was. I wanted to give an actual answer to that question, which is that and that's a case by case basis, basically about usually around like what the law is in a given state around
how good a cook you are.
Yeah, how good a cook you are. No, about kind of like around the like if you make the chicken, like killing the chicken really worthwhile, then we'll allow it. It's
all
like
right.
Basically the rule. Frank, so nice to see you.
Nice to be seen. So I want to ask Ben if he would elaborate on his appreciation for train travel. And to the extent he's comfortable, maybe share a little bit about his upcoming plans beyond Miami. And then if, there's not a whole lot of time left, but if people are inclined, or the hosts or the chorus, what's the optimal role of trains in U.S. transportation policy? And now that I'm done reading my question, I'm going to fulfill Ben's wish. I'm going to change my appearance.
Oh my God.
I was going to ask you, but you just did it on your own. So
you were going to say when they asked what you were going to do after COVID, and you said take the trains. I knew you were going to say, I don't know how I knew. I knew it was going to be an Amtrak because is my
interesting. So I mean, look, the answer is the right role of train travel in the United States is dense rail networks in relatively compressed areas. There's no good argument for long distance train travel except pleasure. And you don't build a large rail network for pleasure. So to give you an idea of how absurd what I'm going to do is from any point of view other than pleasure, to get to Miami from Washington by plane takes 2.5 hours and costs $250 round trip. To do it the way I'm going to do it, costs $550 one way and takes 24 hours. So there is no good argument for that, except as a matter of enjoying it. I do like trains. I like sleeping on trains very much. And I also, critically, for somebody who writes for a living, I write well on trains, and I can read for long periods of time on trains, and so the idea of spending 24 hours on a train on the way to Miami, it just sounds like a pleasurable experience. So my plan is to go to Miami for 4 or 5 days, just to be. I can't really be away from Lawfare right now because we are in the process of replacing a fairly considerable amount of staff, and I have a bunch of open jobs that I need to fill, but I don't need to be in Washington, so just to work from a different place, and then I will come back to Washington from Miami, have a little bit of business I have to be here for, and then I will go to New York to do a live show with Kate and Scott and to see people who I haven't seen for more than a year. Hang a left, go to Chicago to go to the University of Chicago Library to look at the Ed Levy papers because I want to write a book about Ed Levy. And then continue on to Minneapolis where a lawfare, a couple that I am very attached to, Hannah Rosen and Alan Rosenstein, Hannah Neprash, sorry, get the Rosens
and the Hannahs mixed
and
up.
The Hannahs. No, it's not just speaking quickly. Hannah Neprash and Alan Rosenstein who have been on the show, have a new baby, and so I'm going to go out to Minnesota to visit the baby. After that, I'm not sure. I will eventually do the circuit around the entire country between now and September, when I am hopeful that Brookings will reopen, but I'm not sure what will happen after my visit to Minneapolis.
Yeah, I was, I love the idea of train travel, specifically like how you're doing it with like on a sleeping car and a dining car. Like I just like, there is some weird, it has some absolutely like old movie, like it's like a very romantic vision for me, and like I just have always
bitterly disappointed if there is not a murder to solve on.
I know,
on every leg. I think
I'm really hoping for you, Ben, that there's a murder.
I mean, because let's in the spirit of the Great Onion podcast, A Very Fatal Murder, let's just say the detective with one eyebrow solving the murder on a totally useless trip to Miami. I mean, that's pretty hot.
I'm going to quit law professoring and just devote myself to writing this TV series. It would be so amazing. Oh my God. Yes, well, I guess we'll have to leave it there. I think I almost don't want to end the hour. That was fun. I laughed so hard I cried.
One question before we go. Who's the mystery guest tomorrow?
Yeah, who's the mystery guest, Scott?
Actually, the mystery guest, you almost tricked me. You almost tricked me.
Guys, think hard tomorrow about who Scott's mystery guest will be. We have a few clues. We've got, it's an old friend who knows about mushrooms and morels in particular and con law.
But
this is clearly a Yale Law School person.
Maybe not. Maybe yes. Maybe no.
So we're gonna see Scott's mystery guest tomorrow. Also, think hard about how you're gonna vote in the poll, because the fate of one of my eyebrows depends on you. So I want you to give this. Maybe make yourself a PowerPoint presentation the way Scott would. Think about how Scott decided how he was going to cast his vote. That's a good model for serious methodological, serious deliberative thinking about important issues.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
The hairs of my eyebrows scream out to you.
Ask how is it going to help your Twitter feed, for example.
Yes. And I will charge my razor just in case the vote does not go well for the eyebrow.
Everything is very weird. And I know that I don't always tell the story, stories where I miss the entire punchline of why I'm telling the story. But I feel this whole episode has been a little bit I'm did something happen and I missed it?
If Kate were telling this story, she would leave out the part where Bots shaves his beard, or cuts his beard on the show. It would be she'd tell all the facts in great detail, except the part that there was,
the critical part, right?
Right. So we just leave that part out. All right.
Oh man, guys! Happy 400th episode. We will see you tomorrow. 22 hours and 56 minutes from now with Scott's mystery guest, the mystery morale constitutional law guest. We just know Constitution, though, right? Not law. There's a constitutional law.
Yeah, constitutional law and history. Yeah.
Okay. We don't have fun anymore. But we are. Wait.
Tomorrow we might not have eyebrows.
There we go. Nailed it, Ben.
Sorry.
Bye, guys.